70% throughout his career in CRL with teams. He had a 64% win rate. But Eric, let me bring you something very important as we get into this game. CRL EU, second place. CRL West Spring 2019, second place. CRL West 2020, second place. Worlds 2020, second place. March monthly final this year, second place. Best global tournament finish, second place. And Eric, what's his best ladder finish?
I'm gonna have to go with second place.
That's the big knock. Yes, he won CRL West with SK Gaming in the fall of 2019, but that second place has been a big weight around his neck for a long time, and this is important for both Morten and for Morten fans.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm already proud of Morten in the sense that, yes, he's using minor, but it's not the minor we expect from Morten. He is always lost to that matchup, in my opinion. That has been his biggest weakness. He has worked harder than anyone. He has the mechanics just as good as everyone else, but his analysis and deck choices are what's let him down. He is keeping that component of minor that is that comfort deck to him, but this is a way different look.
Yeah, very different look indeed. And of course, on the side of Kodigo, where I believe that's the Turkish flag as opposed to the Colombian flag. He is the captain of Colombia, led that squad to a top 4 finish at the No Tilt Worlds in 2020. Really beloved player, and one of the guys we talked about this other night at dinner, Eric, that he's someone who I think is accurately rated. His fans know that he's a great player. He's not an S-tier player, but he's a player who deserves to be here and has a very, very good chance of being an upset today against Morten.
This is one of those matches that I had a lot of trouble predicting the outcome of it. When it comes to World Finals, I usually have, okay, this guy is more experienced, this guy is a lot better. This is so even to me. Yes, Morten has more accolades to his name, but Kodigo, ooh, that kick tower activation.
Wow.
That is Morten fashion kick tower activation, where it looked like he was in a little bit of trouble. Those spear goblins get zapped off, the bats don't go down fully, and you're getting a little bit nervous for him. And then he activates that kick tower. But like you said, this is not a clear-cut match for Morten like we've seen so many times for him.
Mega Knight going to the left-hand side towards the mortar. Queen goes into her invisibility mode. These minions, which you don't see played very often, have been a very important factor. Kodigo does not appear to have a big spell that at least he's willing to use on them. We'll see if maybe he's, you don't usually see lightning and zap in the same deck, so you would feel like that would be fireball or poison. Have not seen it yet from the Colombian.
I feel like if it's fireball, he would have had to use it by now. Maybe he's saving it for one big push where Morten is caught off guard. But it also could be that he is tailoring a deck.
This is a big push, Eric. This is a whole lot on the board right now. Kodigo running roughshod over the right-hand side as we go into overtime.
I am shocked. I am shocked at the fact that we just went from total control from Morten to that, and he is going to try this odd push here, but with the Mega Knight in hand, you're able to hold off long enough. And look at the Red Rider is about to connect. It does connect, actually. It doesn't get the charge, but at this late in the game, if it is lightning that he has down there, that charge means everything to Kodigo.
This is such a strange deck. Mortar, Minor, no shockers here. Of course, known for minor wall breakers more is Morten, but again, the minions, such a strange choice. It slows this deck down quite a bit and hasn't paid off defensively as much as I think he did as they'd hoped.
Yeah, he's gonna have to zap this, or I think there we get the zap going. He needed to zap that. He cannot worry about the Spirit Goblins in that situation. If he's able to get one more hit from that Archer Queen,
wow,
it is game over. And Kodigo steals the first game.
This is one of those matches that a lot of people...
Almost impossible, so even with RG, right, that could get very tricky with no lightning in the current meta.
And here we are in game number 2. Morten down by 1. Kodigo in a great spot here. He nearly made it to CRL World Finals back in 2018 in CRL Latin America, where Cream Esports was the top seed for that gauntlet-style playoffs. But the rise of a young man from Vivo Keyed, Javi 14, came out of nowhere and, of course, double 2-0'd Kodigo in those 1v1s, denying him a World Finals chance. This is his first time back in all that time, and here we go. It is Royal Giant, so the question is, if I called it, did Morten call it?
My question to you is, you know he didn't practice against Morten this month, and you said his deck. Were you his coach this whole month?
Oh, look at this Archer Queen on the left-hand side. I wasn't his coach because I probably wouldn't have picked this deck here, and there you go. Morten taking the lead as we go past the first minute of gameplay.
Yeah, he does take the lead, but still, you spoke about it. Kodigo's main deck is an RG deck, so he has to be feeling comfortable. It is only a 300 HP deficit, and you are playing with your full-on comfort deck. What does scare me is for defense, that cage being there. No lightning on Kodigo's end, and on top of that, the Archer Queen, when you activate that ability, could basically take out the RG way before it even gets one shot off.
Royal Giant in Lumberjack making a move as well, kind of a throwback version of RG here. NATO to pull things back. Royal Giant getting DPS down, but is raged up, will get one shot, gets a second shot in, and the lead changes as we are 15 seconds away from sudden death.
I love the fact that he's using Lumberjack in this deck. The RG, he knows he's not going to be able to break through as easily as if he had Lightning, so what is the alternative to it? I'm going to make sure that I can get that raged up, possibly get one hit here and there, where else I probably wouldn't be able to, but he does have to defend the full E-Giant push, and when we are looking at his deck, there's not a lot of DPS.
Yeah, the single target DPS is going to have to get close, right? Nothing range that can really put that damage on. Lightning takes care of some business.
Wow.
Mega Minion high, Archer Queen all over that Mega Minion cage. Misses the E-Giant pull. Absolute disaster for Kodigo as we enter the final 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're trying to cycle back to it quickly, and then you just put it down in that last second where it's a half a tile already out of range. I think in that point, Kodigo, just be safe, throw that in front of the E-Giant in Rich and Eric fashion when we go into, you know, that desperate mode. Okay, I'm just getting it down. You can't risk things like that in the World Finals. A little bit of a misplay there from Kodigo cost him the match because he doesn't have anything left to give here. But to Kodigo's, I guess, saving, he did win match number 1.
So here we go, game number 3 on its way. A very important game number 3 for both of these players. And, you know, this is where we get into game number 3 elimination match between Kodigo and Morten.
I'm excited. This is what I live for, man. Game 3s, we weren't able to get one in the first 2 matches, but we get one in possibly one of the best matches of the day.
So it is Poison. A little bit of facial tick there from Morten. So. Yeah. Curious as to what he's running. Golden Knight on both sides. No surprising here that the golden-haired boy of our game, no longer JP, it's actually in-game now. Coming out on both sides here in Game 3.
Yeah, I would be a little confused if JP was at World Finals and you called him the golden-haired, you know, golden boy, but at least we're still able to implement it, and we do see Hoggies out of Morten, so I'm not too sure why the face early on. You love to see Poison when you're playing Hoggies.
And Tesla out of Kodigo. Talking about that earlier, you guys were, about how Tesla can be a risky choice when you're nervous with the placements. That really just shows how confident and experienced Kodigo is in this moment.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be confident, but it's also still a risky play, especially after last game you missed the cage. You have that in the back of your mind, whether you like it or not. Every time there's a mistake made as a player, you think about it. Please don't make a mistake with the Tesla. And now the delivery is not available for the flying machine, and Morten is on tower.
Huge connection from Morten on the left-hand side. 21.97 is the mark as we pass the midway point of regulation time. And Kodigo going with minor control here, which has been making a bit of a comeback in the last couple of months.
It is so odd to see a match where Morten is in it and he's not the one using minor control, but it was a very risky play to go with it. I love the deck choice out of Morten. You know there's no fireball, there's no lightning, and when there is none of that, flying machines become MVPs.
Final minute, double elixir on its way, and Kodigo starting to battle back here again. That minor really getting left untouched. 1924 is the mark on that left-hand side as Morten cycles his Mother Witch to the right-hand lane.
Yeah, and here we go. This is where he needs to get a ton of value. Those flying machines should become the MVPs of the match. If you're able to force out extra defense, which he did. He forced out a full-on Tesla. He has that Mother Witch on the right-hand side, and now he cycles these recruits in the back. He might go ahead and poison this. I'm not too sure. There's a poison. Now he only has to deal with one lane.
Tesla cycled down on the side of Kodigo. A lot on the board as that right-hand side getting loaded up, and delivery out of cycle again for that flying machine.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. This will dash onto tower if he's able to get on it, and there it is. I love that interaction.
And that is a ton of damage, 487 on that left-hand side. Kodigo with the head scratch right now, knowing he is in a lot of trouble.
It's one of those things that your brain is so accustomed to playing the game a certain way for so long that you just say, okay, I'll just put these Spear Goblins right here. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Golden Knight on the bridge, dash activated, huge dash onto tower, and that's basically gonna seal the game. Arrows come in, Poison next, and we have Morten moving on, barring something very weird.
The upset's not happening so far today. Poison in. Kodigo knows it's over. The CRL World Championship dream is still alive for Morten.
For Morten and all his thousands and thousands of fans that want to see him finally take home the trophy.